And welcome to the Aaron Katzman Show. I'm your host, Aaron Katzman. We speak to your life, your money, and your investments. And as always, we're coming to you from the spiritual and soon to be financial capital of the world, Jerusalem, Israel. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. And if you think somebody may find this of interest, why don't you go ahead and share it with them as well? So I came across fascinating research from the American College of Sports Medicine. Now, you may ask, what on earth does that have to do with your personal finance podcast? Good question, but I'm going to read a little bit, and then I think you're going to figure out what the segue, what we have in common between sports medicine and investing, okay, and your pursuit of wealth growth, okay? So I'm reading. New evidence review of data from 30,000 plus participants finds the biggest benefits come from consistency, not complicated programs. Da-da-da-da. Sound familiar? But I will get back to the financial part in a second. The American College of Sports Medicine has published a new position stand summarizing resistance training recommendations for healthy adults, the first major update since 2009. The position stand synthesized findings from 137 systematic reviews, representing more than 30,000 participants, offering the most comprehensive evidence-based guidance to date on how resistance training supports muscle growth, muscle size, power, and physical performance across adulthood. The position stand emphasized that the most meaningful gains come from a simple shift, moving from no resistance training to any form of resistance training. While specific training variables can be tweaked, the primary goal for most adults should be regular participation in any form of resistance training. The best resistance training program is the one you'll actually stick with, said Stuart Phillips, PhD, FACM, and an author on the position stand and professor in the Department of Kinesiology at McMaster University. Training all major muscle groups at least twice a week matters far more than chasing the idea of a quote-unquote perfect or complex training plan. Whether it's barbells, bands, or body weight, consistency and effort drive results. Further takeaways. Individualization matters more than rigid rules. Move away from the one-size-fits-all prescriptions. Programs should be individualized based on personal goals, enjoyment, and safety to maximum long-term adherence. If a program is too demanding to maintain, it loses its effectiveness. Athletes and avid resistance trainees would, of course, require specific training plans to emphasize their sport and training goals. And we go on and on and on, but I'm not going to bore you. Why am I bringing this up? Well, it should be clear, but I've got a couple more minutes to kill, so I'm going to go and explain. I'm going to explain it anyway. You got to start, right? They say the first thing is that a simple shift, right? Gains come from a simple shift, moving from no resistance training to any form of resistance training, right? You've got to start when it comes to getting your financial household in order. You have to sit down and start from somewhere, right? You have to take stock of what you have. You have to understand how much you're spending, how much is coming in, how much you can put away to save. If you've got debts, how you're going to pay them off. You have to start, right? It's not going to happen without some kind of a starting spot. The next is consistency beats complexity. Well, have you ever heard me say that, right? You've got to be consistent. You've got to save on a consistent basis. You have to adhere to your budget on a consistent basis. And when it comes to investing, you keep it simple. All the data says 90+% of investors are not able to do better. Even professional investors are not able to outperform the index. So why try? And that's over like 1 year and 2 years. Over the longer term, forget it. It's not going to happen. So keep it simple. Don't try and be too smart. It's funny. I was on a call with somebody earlier today. She was young. She was beginning. And we were talking about index investing versus, all kinds of stocks. And I said one of the reasons people just never get ahead financially is they're too smart. They try to do things instead of trusting the process and following the process. They think they can outsmart the process. They make things very, very complicated. And that doesn't work. 90% of the time, it does not work to be so complicated. Finally, individualization matters more than rigid rules. What do I say all the time? Right? We say here, program, right? Move away from one size fits all. Prescriptions programs should be individualized based on personal goals, blah, blah, blah. What do we speak about when investing? Tune out the noise. Tune out what your friends are doing. Tune out what your colleagues are saying at work. Your portfolio, your investments should be solely based on your individual goals and needs. Okay. And you have to set those goals. Sit down with a pen and paper, maybe with your spouse, and figure out what do we want to accomplish? We have money. What are we trying to accomplish? Or we don't have that much money. We have to save for the future because we want to do X, Y, and Z. Excuse me. Personalize it. Personalize your investment. But personalization is so important, right? You have to understand your goals. You have to understand your needs. If you don't know them, sit down, work them out. Sometimes people come to me and we flush them out for people. We help. Financial advisors are very good at trying to help people understand what it is they want to accomplish and how to get there. So again, remember that it's your money, it's your financial life. Forget about what other people are doing. Forget about you read in the financial media, and certainly forget about what your friends are doing, because it's your own situation, nobody else's. Nobody's situation is going to be identical to yours. That's why you need customization, individualization, just like working out, just like resistance training. You know, I've said this, I've compared many times trying to lose weight to getting your house in order financially, that it's a process. You have to trust the process. You're not going to lose, let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds. You're not going to lose 20 pounds tomorrow. And if you try and you like starve yourself, you're probably going to gain weight. You're going to fall off the wagon. It's not going to take long, and it's not going to be successful. That's why everybody's New Year's resolutions, right, of losing weight fail, because they bite off more than they can chew. No pun intended. Okay, but if you start small and you just create a calorie deficit, and you slowly start losing weight, you get some small wins. You go on the scale after a week. Wow, look at that. I lost a pound. I lost half a pound. And you keep at it. That's how you end up losing weight. Same thing with financial success. It's not going to happen from today to tomorrow, right? You're not going to start with $20,000 and have $3 million in the bank overnight. It's not going to happen. You're not going to pay off all your debts in one fell swoop, right? It might, if you're not living within a budget, it might take time, right? But in order to get that budget squared away, but you have to remember, take it slow, but take it. Start and take baby steps, just one step after another. Like babies don't learn to run marathons, right? When they learn to walk, they take a step and they fall on their rear end, and they take another step and they fall on their rear end. And the next time they might take 2 steps and they fall on their rear end, and then they pick it up. But it takes time. The same thing with financial success, exact same thing, which is the exact same thing we're seeing from that research of over 30,000 people in sports medicine about the benefits of resistance training. Very similar. A lot of these things are similar, but this is extremely similar. That's why I decided to bring it up, because it's like 1-to-1 financial success and physical success via resistance training. You've been tuning in to the Aaron Katzman Show. We speak about life, money, or investments. If you like this content, please hit the like button below. If you've not yet done so, please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and to the podcast. If you think somebody might find this of interest, why don't you go ahead and share it with them as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you soon.